Yes, sir. I'm told that Ganeshan's friend for many years.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Murthy told me, yes.
Yes.
I see.
He sends his warm regards.
I'm sorry?
He sends his warm regards to you.
I see.
Okay.
Thank you.
He told me to tell you. Okay.
So, you must know Ramana Maharshi's teaching very deeply.
Yes, for the last 12 years, that's been my whole life, basically. It's been dedicated to that.
I see.
And to the practice of self-inquiry. But not so much as a thinking, who am I, as just a simple attention, inward attention.
Well, that's what I'm concerned with. That is what I'm concerned with.
Okay, so we can fix that.
So, what can you tell me? What I want to know is, what is Ramana Maharshi's main concern?
I'm not sure he was concerned that much,
No, as far as the ordinary person is concerned.
Right.
As far as the ordinary person, he had great compassion for the ordinary person.
Right.
Who, according to me, Ramana Maharshi was unnecessarily considers himself burdened.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? That was it.
Right. I know what you mean. It's like that when the concern for another, somehow, in other words, burdens.
Yes, but what he said, the average person is no need to feel burdened.
That's right.
From which he seeks freedom.
Ah.
Would I be right?
I understand, yes. Yeah, so it's kind of a game that we make up for ourselves, that there's other, and then we're burdened by concern for them, and then the whole drama evolves from that.
Yes, but so now, what Ramana Maharshi made a personal inquiry, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who am I? Was that not his focus point? Find out, who am I? Was that not his focus point?
Yes. I can't talk for Ramana because I don't have experience in that body. In other words, I've never been in that body, but I can say here, it's more of a willingness to look, to see what's here, than me doing it. Now, you understand what I'm saying? There's just a willingness to know the truth as it shows up moment by moment.
So he said, who am I?
Right.
So he says, what does it mean? Find out who I am.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who do you think what does he think he means by I? I'm sorry, your name is?
Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. So what is Bob to find out? Who am I?
Right.
Who is this I that Bob is supposed to find out?
Yeah. Well, that's the question, and when Ramana was asked how long that inquiry should continue, he said until there's no one left to continue the practice. And he also at another time asked how long he was going to do it, and he said until my last breath.
You saw him, Ramana Maharshi?
No, that's just reported. No, I'm not that old.
I mean,
the body isn't that old. Yeah.
I was 33 when he died.
Yes. Wow.
For the last 20 years before that, I was keen on seeing him.
Right.
But never did make it.
No.
It was not my destiny to see Ramana Maharshi.
Right. In answer to your question a little deeper, it's more that what I'm not, started falling away under the examination, and by default, I'm just left with what I am, and I can't tell you what that is.
No. Listen, what do you think is Ramana Maharshi's ultimate understanding? What is the ultimate understanding Ramana Maharshi expects me or anyone to have? What do you think is the ultimate understanding he's supposed to have? Let me put it this way. Does it mean that I am to understand that I have no ego? Is that what I'm supposed to understand?
Well, if that's the case, it wouldn't be true. You know, I mean, the ego is as an appearance is certainly alive and well. You know, somebody cuts me off at the if something happens in this body in daily living, there's a reaction. And, people could say, rightly so, they says, well, that's a function of the ego, if you want to use that model to describe what happens. So I've wondered this myself, the same question, because killing the ego, if one were to kill the ego, the only thing you'd have left is the killer of the ego, which would probably be worse than the ego.
No, even the master, even Ramana Maharshi, I've read somewhere, Ramana Maharshi says, kill the ego.
Yes, and I've never understood that.
I see.
Right. Yeah, I've never understood that, because it seems like that the egoic function is necessary for the body to live out its life, But it's not who I am. That's the thing. It's just a function.
Yeah. So that is what I couldn't understand. The masters telling me, kill the ego.
Right.
My problem was, if I am supposed to kill the ego and I do kill the ego, who is left?
That's right. The killer of the ego. Who's that?
If the ego is killed, who or what is left?
That's right.
That was my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, frankly, Bob, I could not accept that enlightenment means the end of the ego. Masters have said that. Enlightenment means the end of separation. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And not one. Enlightenment means the end of separation. Am I right?
Yes.
Is that what they say? End of the ego means end of the separation.
Yeah. But the thing is, one can see that the ego is only a function, and therefore isn't an entity that can be killed. It's just a set of circumstances. I mean, it's just a set of reactions to circumstance, and then we have a story about it, calling it me. And then we invent an idea called
Wait a
me.
minute. You keep on saying we.
Okay. If I got a mouse in my pocket?
Who is this we?
Yeah, good question.
Who is this we that Bob is talking about?
It's a good question. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yes.
And that we, according to me, that we, that me is the ego.
Yes.
So, I'm told enlightenment means the end of the ego.
Mm-hmm.
No more ego, no more separation.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Ramana Maharshi says that.
Yes.
So what do you think Ramana Maharshi means? Ramana Maharshi keeps on saying, enlightenment means the end of separation.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the masters say that.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Yes.
What is enlightenment? Masters say enlightenment means the end of separation. That is to say, I no longer feel separate from you or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That means there is no ego to feel separate from anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
Yes.
Do you think he means that? I'll tell you my problem.
Okay.
My problem was, if I had been able to see Ramana Maharshi, and I saw him going somewhere, and if I called out, Bhagwan or Ramana Maharshi, or whatever I called him, would he not have turned back and said, yes, what can I do for you? With the greatest of compassion in his eyes. He would have done that.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Yes.
So then, who would have found turning towards me and asking me this question, what can I do for you? No separation.
No separation.
Then who
Yes.
was separate from me,
Mm-hmm.
who is asking me what he can do for me?
Right. Yeah.
See what I mean?
That's a good question.
So my problem was, if Ramana Maharshi could respond to my calling him by name,
Mm-hmm.
then surely Ramana Maharshi did live his life for 50 years in the ashram as a separate entity. What to live his life as a separate entity, have his bath in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, he'd walk around this mountain. See what I mean? Therefore, as I could see, Ramana Maharshi lived for 50 years as a separate entity even after being totally enlightened.
What to do? Yeah. Well, how could you not? Yeah, live.
Therefore, my question was, I could not accept that enlightenment means no more ego, that Ramana Maharshi had no ego. That I couldn't accept. What do you think about that?
Well,
do you think Ramana Maharshi had ego
Right.
for 50 years that he lived?
Well,
What do you think? What did Ganeshan think?
I'll have to ask him. I'll have to ask
You
him.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
You never thought of it, you didn't ask him.
Right.
And that was my focal question. So therefore, yes, please.
I think I
One moment, huh?
When you get the mic.
Come here.
Oh, will you say?
Just a minute. Not to come later. Just a moment. Just a moment. I'll just give you 1 second.
Yes, ma'am. Your name is?
Andrea,
Andrea. Yes, Andrea. Please, at this moment.
it's
What?
just a question also. I forgot about there's an Indian expression for the state of life when the enlightened men still, they live. There's a very small level that they are still living. They still are connecting to life, so that their ego is still constituted.
The ego
Yeah.
is still there.
Yeah, but a very small, like there's an Indian expression, a Sanskrit word for it. It's a very, very slight, very, very thin level, which is still connected to the life, so that they can constitute their ego, but their consciousness is one. So I think on the level of consciousness, they are one, but the ego, they still have a
but
little
yes,
slight.
Ramana Maharshi still lived his life in that ashram for 50 years as a separate entity.
Sure,
He gave instructions on how to make the little construction.
sure.
And if the construction were not there, he could get angry.
If excuse me?
If the construction was not precisely as he said, he could get angry.
He could get angry. You can get angry.
But if you say, if you put me and Ramana Maharshi on the same level,
No, I just asked you, can you get angry?
no, I can't get angry. But anger could arise.
Could arise, right.
Anger could arise in this body-mind organism. On that point, I have my own separate concept. That is a separate thing. We'll come to that. For me, it's the most, next to the ego, that for me is the most important concept. That nobody gets angry, nobody gets afraid, nobody gets compassionate.
Right.
All three are feelings which are biological reactions in the body-mind organism according to the gene and conditioning. The ego is not concerned. Therefore, in the Hindu mythology, many sages, saints, who were known for their quick anger,
Because there's no editor.
I'm sorry?
There's no editing going on. Just it's just a spontaneous
So
reaction to the
so
conditions.
here my my own distinction clearly is my own concept. When the eye sees something, or the ears hear something, or the nose smells something, or the tongue tastes something, or the fingers touch something, there is an immediate reaction, positive or negative.
But that's on the very basic level of body-mind organism.
But that is a biological reaction.
Right.
According to me, that is a biological reaction.
Right.
According to the genes. Therefore, 4 people see the same thing. And the usual example I give is 4 people go in a taxi or car in Bombay to go around. 4 o'clock, say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The taxi stops at a traffic light, heavy traffic, and promptly 3 or 4 bigger boys come, surround them and put their hand in, wanting, begging for money. That is the scenario. That is the situation. 4 people in the car. And my point is, there will be 4 different, can be 4 different reactions.
Yeah, that's true.
4 different reactions. One can be anger. Another can be fear. A woman can say, this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If it were late in the evening and not 3 or 4 but 30, 40 people, fear could have. She could be afraid. Third one may be disgust. What kind of a bloody country is this? They can't even go around in peace. And the 4th one, he may feel very, very sorry for these people. In my country, these boys would have been receiving education. Here in this wretched country, they have to beg for money for food. See what I mean?
Yeah, that's according to the desire of the life.
The eye see the same thing. And 4 different reactions.
Yeah.
So 4 different reactions. If you saw 4 different reactions, what would you say? Would you not say, he was angry, she was afraid, he was disgusted, and he is a compassionate man?
I think it's according to the pattern of life. As Nisargadatta said, our first desire is that we would not live, if we would have any desire for living.
First I'm saying what happened. After that we can say whose opinion. But
Again?
I'm saying, your name you said this?
Andrea.
Andrea. I'm asking Andrea. If would you not say, A was angry, B, the woman was afraid, C was disgusted, and D is a compassionate man. He felt sorry for them, he gave them money. Would you not say that?
Sure.
And
But is it, that's not, I think for me it's not so important, because it's just the pattern of life of the ego, of the individual ego. So as every ego has another desire to live, another concept to get to birth, otherwise we would not be here. It's just the concept.
4 egos reacted in 4 different ways.
Yeah, different.
Is that not what you would say? Is that not what you are saying? A was angry, B was afraid, C was disgusted, D is a compassionate man. He gave money. Would you not say that?
Sure.
Therefore what you are saying is, one ego got angry, another ego was afraid, a third ego was disgusted, and the 5th ego was a compassionate person. And if I tell you One of those two people is an enlightened person. Whom would you say is an enlightened person? The compassionate man must be the enlightened person. Isn't that right?
Could be or could not be.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I question whether there are any enlightened people, you know. I take it to that level. I mean, because I see this as just conditioning in bodies, meeting the matrix of cause and effect, believing that and there's a belief in each of these bodies that there's a separation from cause and effect, and a separation from the matrix that's out there. And that's, in other words, that I stop at the skin, and the rest of the world is out there. That's the experience that comes with the body. But is that really all we are? It's just this bunch of conditioning.
What are we talking about?
Oh, got me again.
What are we talking about? That is the point.
Okay, it's a hypothetical. I'm dealing in hypotheticals.
What are we talking about?
I
And the
understand.
we are talking about
Yeah.
is the egos.
Right.
Each separate entity with a sense of personal doership.
Yes.
That is the point. We talk
Right.
about we.
Right.
We can't not talk without we.
Or I could say I would be.
Or I, same
Right.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
Singular or plural.
Yeah. Well, if you go to language, the whole thing is set up that way: subject, predicate, object. Subject, predicate, object. I can't talk at all without having a subject, a doing, and something's being done to.
And without doing
Yeah.
and without talking, there is no life. There is no daily living.
Right. Is that so?
Unless you live in a cave in the Himalayas,
Right.
not in the city, not how we live. We live, daily living means relationship with the other.
Right.
Relationship with the other means talking, dealing with him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Therefore, we can't get away from it. So, on this point of view, you would agree that you would say, A was angry, B was afraid, C, and if I tell you one of them is enlightened.
Yeah, but isn't compassion pure love, and isn't consciousness pure love and compassion? And
Look, let's stick to this.
Satchitananda is
Do you mind
pure
if we
compassion?
do you mind if we stick to this? Your other points I'll come to. I'll take up any point you want. I'll take up any point you want. But let's go this particular situation.
Okay.
Would
Yes,
you
the
not
one who
say?
has
We're
compassion
going to
is all
stay with the four
conscious.
people.
Are you together?
No.
Would you not say that the compassionate man is the enlightened person?
I could certainly get a lot of agreement that he is, but I don't know that I would say that, because I think that the compassion person is more filtering it through his ideas about, his experience through ideas, and then responding, where perhaps the one that just gets angry is more honest in that he's actually
You mean-
responding out of his
You mean
emotions.
the person who found compassionate and gave money away was not honest? He's putting on a show? He was putting
Well,
in an act?
I can't tell you, but it may be so that he's doing it
Maybe
for the
so.
benefits of...
Maybe so,
Yeah.
but let us assume that all four are honest.
Pardon?
Let us assume all four are honest.
Okay, we can assume that.
Then-
Okay.
Is it possible to say who is an enlightened person? All are their
Yeah.
reactions are 100% honest.
What
You
is
can
honest?
you can
What is
certainly
honest?
say it. In other words, genuine, without...
Yes, genuine.
Right.
Nobody is putting on a show.
Yeah, okay, genuine.
In fact, there was no time to put on a show.
Uh-huh.
There's a
So, without
traffic light, the
concept.
car stops, they come in, and therefore, all four reactions are genuine and spontaneous.
Well, I go back to what I said earlier, is I question that there are enlightened people, that one person is more enlightened than the other. I wonder if that gradation of, judgment and evaluation is nothing more than just
So
reaction.
what
Reaction.
you're saying is there is nothing like enlightenment. Is that what you're saying? There is nothing like enlightenment. Now that is something we can talk about.
Right.
Is there any enlightenment at all? We could talk about it.
Yes.
But in this point,
Yeah.
but you could say Ramana Maharshi is enlightened. Or Ramana Maharshi has the ultimate understanding.
Yeah. Well, regardless of what I say about Ramana Maharshi, it won't change the way Ramana Maharshi manifested one iota. It will just be a personal opinion. It'll be just an idea that's in the head about somebody I've read books about and seen on grainy videos or old movies. It's just a body to me. I've never been in his presence, physical presence, to be able to judge him any way other than by hearsay. So I can't make my opinion doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah.
But then what you are saying is anybody wanting to be enlightened,
Uh-huh.
there can't be anyone wanting enlightenment.
The way you phrase the question makes it difficult to answer. I can only come from personal experience.
No, not from personal experience of what happens in the world.
Mhm.
Is there not such a thing as spiritual seeking?
There certainly seems to be a lot of people running around doing spiritual seeking.
At
Yeah.
least we concur on one thing.
Right.
There are spiritual seekers
Right.
seeking God knows what.
Yeah. I never was one, I have to tell you. I never was a spiritual seeker in this body.
Oh, you lucky man.
Yes. But things came, people came into my life and they were interested in things and I just went along for the ride with them, and it was, and I said, wow, this is great. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the interest came to pursue it, but not in the beginning. It was just here, watch this video, come to this deal, try this meditation. It was always my friends who convinced me to do it.
Bob,
Yeah.
why are you telling me this?
I don't know.
Why are you telling me this?
Probably to inflate my ego.
Bob wants us to know I'm not an ordinary person like you. You are a seeker. I have never been a seeker. God made me a seeker.
Right.
I am a special person.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah.
One thing, Bob, I can see through, because what you don't know, I must tell you.
Okay.
I am not parroting anybody's words,
Okay.
written or spoken.
Okay.
I was a spiritual seeker pursuing enlightenment for 40 years.
Right.
I don't know why, but I could say that there must be something more than the pleasures in this life. Something, pleasures come and go. They're followed by pain. There must be something deeper in life. I've had that ever since I can remember. Therefore, I was an easy prey
Yeah.
for seekers to take me along as a seeker.
And that's probably true in this case too.
Oh.
At a level that I didn't see.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
So my point is, my brother-in-law and some other friends used to go to a guru.
Uh-huh.
So they suggested, They knew. I kept on asking questions.
Right.
He said, why don't you come along? I said, one day I went to prison. And I was impressed.
Right.
So I took it, the diksha, what they call,
Right.
where he accepted me as a disciple, I accepted as my guru. Regular ceremony. So at that point, I became a seeker, seeking enlightenment. Local word, moksha. Enlightenment, moksha, liberation.
I probably wasn't that intelligent.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't that intelligent when I was younger, to know to seek in that way. For me, I was always looking for situations where I could feel free. In other words, I would go on sailboats out in the middle of the ocean, and I would get rid of my wallet, and I wouldn't have to pay anybody, and there was no one telling me what to do. That's more how this psychology worked in this body, is there was always a desire for freedom, not to gain anything except for just to feel unfettered, to feel like that I wasn't being dominated by the circumstances of life. I wanted to be on top.
Yeah.
Every job I ever had, I became the boss because I didn't want someone telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And with your build, must have been quite easy.
Yeah, it was, but
with my build, it wouldn't have been at all easy.
right. So it's different for each of these bodies. Yeah.
Therefore, I was not concerned with being boss. I was not concerned. I was concerned with what is the point of living. Always in pleasure or pain, pleasure. Is there not something deeper in life than pleasure?
Yes.
Call it happiness.
Yes.
Now that is they call enlightenment. So that is, when I mentioned that, my Guru said, that is precisely what I am going to, that is precisely what I am dealing with. That's precisely what you will get from me.
Right.
So I was happy. But from what he taught, he never taught about what is enlightenment.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to seek enlightenment, which would give me the happiness I'm seeking.
Right.
But he never talked about what is enlightenment.
Who is he?
Hmm?
Sorry, who is he? You said he never talked about
When
enlightenment.
he talked, he never talked.
Who is that?
This guru of mine.
Which name?
Who
was that?
ABC.
ABC, okay.
Nothing to do with ABC.
Very good.
Okay.
So this guru of mine never talked on it. He talked about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Mostly technical Hindu. But he never saw that. I had two basic questions. When I started on this spiritual seeking and became a disciple of this guru, I had two basic questions. What am I seeking? Enlightenment. More important, what will enlightenment do for me for the rest of my life as happiness that I didn't have before? For me, two of the most basic questions which every spiritual seeker should ask. And they don't. Indian seekers don't. See what I mean? The Indian seekers don't. And in one case I found, to such an extent, he said, Ramesh, I've been a seeker for 35 years. I've had two gurus. I'm a man of strong will. Therefore, with my hand on my heart, I can say, I've never done anything that I'm not supposed to do. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. And uncontrollable sobbing. After 35 years, I'm still not enlightened. Uncontrollable sobbing. So after he had settled down, I asked him, why do you think you are not enlightened? See what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think you're not enlightened? What do you think that you have not got which you expected to get?
Pure compassion.
Hmm?
Pure compassion, pure love.
Pure love. My,
Yeah.
that word
Pure
makes me
compassion.
so bloody mad.
What? Mad?
Yeah,
Mad.
pure love. Can you tell me what pure love is?
Pure love.
If a leper comes here and wants to embrace you, would you embrace him? Would that
Again,
not
ask
be
me,
pure love?
Ask me again, I did not get it.
If a leper
Leper.
suffering
very
from
difficult.
leprosy,
Yeah.
horrible, on all his, if he comes want to embrace you,
There are people who have big compassion for
there
these
are
people.
people whom we are talking
But
about.
I'm still in, I'm not on that level. I could not do that.
So that means the love that you are talking about is not meant for people like you and me, only for special people like Jesus Christ. Then what's the use of talking about love, which is meant only for special people like Jesus Christ? I'm talking about happiness, which each of us is concerned.
But what is happiness for you?
Ah,
What kind of happiness you
that
mean
is-
then? What is
that-
happiness for you? So happiness, what you're seeking is permanent happiness. And what is permanent happiness for you? What
That
kind
is
of
what
state?
I talk about. That
tell me what you
that
are.
is precisely what I talk about.
So what are you? When you're pure happiness, what are
therefore I'm telling you, for 40 years I pursued enlightenment.
you?
I pursued
Pursue this?
Chased. Went after.
Chased.
Sought. Yeah.
Yeah, but you should, I think
Will
you
you
should
listen?
not search
Let
for
me
it.
complete my
Oh.
sentence. For 40 years I pursued enlightenment.
Right.
I went to this guru for enlightenment. I pursued enlightenment. And I ended up in frustration.
Right.
Then I decided I'll do find out for myself. Not
Not
enlightenment.
Okay.
What do I want in my life? Why did I start enlightenment? Because I wanted a happiness deeper than the pleasures in life would give me. I said I will do that stuff from square one, from point one. I'll do my own seeking. Seeking what? My happiness. In other words, I decided, as Ramesh, I'm concerned only with the totally selfish view of being happy in this life. I'm not concerned with the happiness of the world. I'm not concerned with the miseries of the world. That's God's business. Let God take care of His business. I want happiness for myself. But my problem was, by the grace of God, I'm reasonably comfortable in life. I know what pleasures are. Many pleasures I have not received, but even if I enjoy every kind of pleasure, I still would feel that I don't have that the deeper, lasting happiness. Therefore, what am I questing like? A happiness deeper than pleasure. That is what I decided I'm seeking. So, I started my own pursuit of happiness.
I have a question.
Please.
In order to want that, you had to know what it was, right? You had to know that there was something there that was deeper to seek it.
I knew that. Something deeper.
Something told you.
Something deeper than the pleasures of life which I've enjoyed.
Right,
Some I have not, but even if I enjoyed all the pleasures in life,
right,
I would still be hankering for the deeper happiness,
right.
which is not to be found in the pleasures of life.
So
But
who was seeking?
I have friends who seek the pleasures of life, acquaintances. And when I tell them about the possibility of a deeper satisfaction, a deeper peace, they say, It's all your imagination.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
is what 99% of the people do.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But I'm talking of myself.
Right. But you knew
Bob,
somehow.
I'm talking about myself,
Right.
not 99% of the people.
Okay, I keep going there, don't I? Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Therefore, I decided
Right.
for 40 years or more, I have been seeking happiness, and I thought enlightenment would give me happiness. So for 40 years I pursued enlightenment and ended up in frustration.
Okay.
For one reason, my first guru would not tell me what enlightenment is, let alone what will enlightenment do for me. And this man, he was stunned. I asked him, how do you know you are not enlightened? He was stunned. And then I said to myself, not the only one, several others, stunned with similar situation, astonishing. 30 years, 40 years, I'm not enlightened, I'm not enlightened. So then I said to myself, why is it that there are so many Indians seeking enlightenment, doing rigorous, following a rigorous routine? Why have they not asked themselves the basic question which I want to know? What will enlightenment do for me for the rest of my life that I didn't have before? Then I got an answer. And do you know what the answer is? The answer is the Indian spiritual seeker does not ask this basic question for only one reason. The Indian spiritual seeker thinks, once I am enlightened, I shall be God. Honestly,
Right.
the Indian spirit, and unfortunately has been misled into thinking that. Once I am enlightened, I shall be God. Therefore, I shall not have to suffer any pain, physical or psychological. I shall be the perfect human being. I shall never commit a mistake. Whatever I do will be perfect. And I shall have I shall have special powers. I shall have special powers to heal you merely by looking at you.
Right.
Maybe the hard work of touching you. But
Not possible.
I can heal anybody. Then I shall know exactly what is going on anywhere in the world. I am God. And if I go driving a car somewhere in the rush, and I want to park a car, then a parking space will be provided for me. I am God. Someone will go and I'll get. That is the idea. That is why the Indian average never asked themselves, whereas perhaps being a banker for 37 years, a practical person, I wanted to know what will enlightenment do for you. Incidentally, I asked my first guru this question, what will enlightenment do for me? His immediate reaction, his immediate biological reaction was anger. That I should dare to ask him a question like that. Then he noticed not many people had that. Not 25, 30 people. 4 or 5, 6 people. But still he saw that all of them were keen to know the answer. All of them were eager to know the answer. So he quietened down and he gave me an answer. You know what the answer was? You want to know what enlightenment will do for you? You will know it only when you are enlightened.
You would say the same. You would say the same.
Why?
Would you say the same today?
What do you mean?
Would you say the same today?
Today, you know what I'm saying today? Today I'm saying, for 40 years I pursued enlightenment, ended up in frustration. 30 years ago, I started pursuing happiness for myself. And I ended up by being enlightened.
So what is the
I
state of
repeat.
enlightenment for
I
you?
repeat,
How does it
I
feel to be
pursued
enlightened?
enlightenment for 40 years and became thoroughly frustrated. Therefore I started pursuing the selfish objective of finding myself happiness for myself in this life, not in next life. In this life, I pursued it deeply, and finally, I got enlightened.
You got enlightened? Who got enlightened?
I got enlightened. Sorry?
Who got enlightened?
Oh, me, Ramesh, who lives his life as Ramesh, who has this flat, who has his wife and children and grandchildren, and now great grandsons. Yeah, me. Ramesh. Make no mistake. Me. The
And
ego.
how did it feel then? How did it feel? How do you feel now?
That is what I talk about. What brought you here? How did
I wanted to feel you.
How did
I
you
wanted to
happen?
feel you.
How did you happen to be here? I keep forgetting your name.
Andrea.
Andrea. Andrea, what brought you here, Andrea?
I wanted to feel you.
No, but how did you happen to know? You suddenly came here? Some friend told you about me? You read about me in the internet?
Let's see. Let's see over here. I read your name maybe in some magazine. I read books from something from
All right, forget it.
Ramana Maharshi,
Yeah.
something of Nisargadatta. I read many books, so
Yes,
I
but
happened to come about your name maybe also.
Don't tell me you found my name in Nisargadatta or Ramana Maharshi.
No,
You
I
didn't
find
find my
I-
name in those books.
No, for example, I
Anyway.
read Astavakra Gita, your book, Duet of Unity.
Yeah, that's my book.
So-
Yeah.
I happened to come over that because I
So
was
you read that book and you are here?
Astavakra Gita. Huh?
You read that book and you are here.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What do you expect me to give you?
I
Enlightenment?
don't expect you to
Enlightenment?
give me anything. I want to feel
Freedom?
you. I want to...
Enlightenment?
No.
You came here without any expectation? Without expecting to get anything? Without expecting happiness? Without expecting freedom? Without
Just want to feel your energy, how you feel, how I can be aware of you. I want to... somehow I want to connect you. I want to feel your energy.
So, what you are telling me is, you came here to get the happiness which you feel you will get from my energy.
From your energy? No, I don't want from your energy.
But what is it that you want? Happiness. You are looking for happiness. Make no mistake. And for me,
It's a basic
no
seeking.
reason to feel ashamed of seeking happiness.
It's a basic
For
seeking
me-
of everybody.
No
But how
reason.
does it feel? How does it feel for you? I want to... Is your happiness pure love, pure compassion or not?
But
I want to know.
first thing is, so long as you have this concept of compassion and love, you will never understand what happiness is.
But when I go in a kind of prayer, in a kind of meditation, there's pure love. There's pure love.
Then why don't you sit in meditation 24 hours a day and be
Yeah,
in love?
I don't know. It's only possible for some minutes.
That is the point. That is the point. So I was not looking for love.
It's no permanent state.
I was
That's
not
it. So
looking
I'm
for
looking
love.
the permanent
I was
state.
looking for happiness, morning till evening.
Right. That's what I'm searching for.
Irrespective of whether at the moment I'm enjoying pleasure or I'm enjoying suffering, pain, I wanted to have this deep feeling, happiness, peace, whatever you call it. I didn't know that. But what I wanted was something deeper than my experience of pleasure. I don't know what it was, but to call it, give it some name, happiness. That was what I was seeking.
So now you have it?
I have it, yes.
How does it feel like? How is it?
Happy. Now I'm happy. What do I mean by being happy? I have peace of mind.
Yes.
And what do I mean by have peace of mind?
Right.
Then I'm never uncomfortable with myself. I'm never uncomfortable with the other. That is all I've got. And I call that enlightenment. Therefore, my two main questions, what is enlightenment, not so important. What will enlightenment do for me for the rest of my life that I didn't have before? Previously, I was uncomfortable. A headache made me uncomfortable. Someone came at me with a knife, I would be uncomfortable. Lots of things made me uncomfortable, but I had no control over them. That is daily life.
Yeah. It seems that somehow, the next question that would come up to me is,
Yes,
how do I get it?
of course.
That would be the next question, right?
That is what I talk about.
Right, yeah. Now, for me, there's this sense of being, not a sense. It's not a sense. It has nothing to do with the senses. But gradually over the last few years, what seems to be showing up is this knowledge that I'm whole and complete. I can't say it any other way, that I'm complete, that nothing, I can't explain it really well, but it's like there's just this wholeness and completion here that, and I to use your term, I'm happy, but
Bob.
nothing's making me happy.
Bob,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing?
Tell
You're
me.
telling me what is not happiness.
Ah, let me listen to this.
You are telling me that you are not happy. You are explaining how it is that you are not happy. That is what you are doing.
I'm not following because I feel happy.
Then there is your problem.
That's my problem?
There is your
I
problem.
have none.
You're not seeking happiness anymore.
I'm seeing, that it seems like this enlightenment thing is to
Now, wait a
discover
minute.
that it's my very
Let
nature.
me put it this way. Whether you are enjoying pleasure at the moment or pain at the moment,
It doesn't matter.
are you sure that you can enjoy your pleasure in peace and that you can suffer your pain in peace? Or can something happen which shatters your pleasure of the moment, increases your pain of the moment, and makes you uncomfortable?
There can be discomfort.
Hmm?
Discomfort doesn't mean that one cannot be happy. You can be uncomfortable physically and still
I'm not talking
happy.
of discomfortable.
Okay.
I'm saying you are enjoying pleasure at the moment. You are enjoying pleasure at the moment. Something happens
Right.
and shatters that pleasure of the moment.
That's it.
Next moment you're suffering some pain.
Right.
You have accepted the pain. You have
Right.
common sense. You have accepted the pain.
Right.
But something happens and intensifies that pain 10 times.
Right. Yeah.
And you're still telling me you're happy.
Well,
Are you-
right now I don't have pain.
So,
Right now I don't have pain, so I'd have to imagine a time when I was
Yeah,
in pain in
therefore-
order to answer your
Yes,
question.
therefore I'm asking Bob to imagine
Okay.
is either enjoying pleasure
Right.
or suffering pain.
Right.
And surely your experience has been. Surely your experience.
My
sometime or
experience
the
is
other,
when the pain was, I wanted to cease.
your
Yeah.
pleasure of
Yeah.
the moment is shattered,
Right.
your pain of the moment is intensified.
Right.
Has it not happened?
It has happened this year, or last year.
And when this happens,
Huh?
you're still comfortable with yourself.
Yes. And this year, let me tell you, last year what they did is they cut me open, took a cancerous tumor out, 8 feet of my small intestine, and it did not destroy my equanimity.
What you are saying is, you were something was diagnosed as cancer,
Yes.
and did not disturb your equanimity.
Yes, and there was sensations in the body of the sinking feeling, like, and there was the sound, the voice that said, "Oh shit," excuse me for the video, but that's what it said. And all of that reaction occurred, but it occurs within a context that's absolutely immovable. That doesn't move, that doesn't change, and is happiness itself. That's my direct experience that I'm reporting to you.
Bob, why are you telling me this?
Because it's the subject
Why
of the
are
day.
you telling me this? For the same reason as before.
Okay.
You want all these people to know what a special person you are.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do
Right.
with the question. And that is what made me find out.
Okay.
What am I seeking? What I am seeking is, my experience was that the fact, first important thing is, I had accepted the basic facts of life. The basic facts of life. I mean, there is no question. Therefore, I had accepted the basic facts of life. One, in any situation, I am free to do whatever I want. I have the total free will to do whatever I want. Since the beginning of time, every human being has had total free will to do whatever he wants. You and me, the criminal, the saint, the psychopath, everybody. In other words, what my point is, fact number one, God was forced to give every human being total free will to do whatever he or she wanted in any given situation. Fact number two, no one had any control over the result of his or her action. And that is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Two basic facts of life. Two basic facts of life. I am free to do whatever I want in any situation, but I have no control over the result of my action. And what is everybody's experience? Sometimes I've got what I wanted, sometimes I've not got what I wanted, and sometimes what I got was beyond expectation. Which of the three things happened? No human being has ever had any control.
Right.
And thereafter what happens? Thereafter the society in which I live cannot know what I have done or what the psychopath has done. The society in which I live is forced to accept what has happened as my action. Society is forced to accept as my action one of three things over which I had no control. and I have to accept it. Thereafter, the society judges one of those three things which the society considers my act as good or bad according to existing social regulations and legal provisions, decides it as good or bad, rewards me or punishes me. Reward from the society means pleasure, punishment from the society means pain. And therefore, these are the two basic facts of life. I am free to do whatever I want, but whether that will result in pleasure or pain, no human being ever had any control.
I have a question about the freedom to do whatever I want.
Yes.
Because when I think of free will, I say, well, I'm free to follow my thoughts. But when I look a little deeper, I say, where are these thoughts coming from? This is a question. Where are these thoughts coming? Whose thoughts are they really? There's thoughts in my head, so they, the logical thing to do would say they're my thoughts, but they arise, and I can't tell you what I'm going to be thinking 5 minutes from now, because of the interactions that will take place in the next 5 minutes. I can't predict what I will think, so how can I say that I have the freedom to do anything except follow thoughts that arise out of a mysterious, vacuum, so to speak?
You are analyzing your free will.
Right.
But the fact remains that you do have free will. Without free will for every human being, why was God forced to give total free will to everyone? Because without that, daily living as we know it could not have happened.
Right.
For the mechanism of daily living to happen,
Right.
God was forced to give every human being total free will. But He put a catch in it.
Okay.
Nobody has any control over the result of his action.
Right.
Two basic facts of life. And that is the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, what is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to find happiness with these two basic conditions in life. These are the two basic conditions in life. I am free to do what I want. I can never know whether that will result in pleasure or pain. Situation after situation. Pleasure or pain, pleasure or pain. That is the basis of daily living. So therefore, my focal question is, for someone like us, reasonably comfortable in life, not one of those below the poverty line, for which we have to be ever grateful to God, and with this total acceptance that daily living means I am free to do what I want, but I have no control over whether that means pleasure or pain. In this situation, with these basic conditions of life, what do I want most? That is happiness. That is my focal question. And therefore I say, one of my things, happiness is my birthright. Happiness is my birthright.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As soon as a baby is born and seeks his mother's breast instinctively, what the baby is looking for is happiness. The baby grows into a school child. For the school child, happiness means love from the parents at home, success in the classroom, success in the playing field. For him, that is happiness. The child grows into an adult. The adult finds life. Life is wonderful, so many pleasures to be had. And therefore an adult pursues pleasures in life with the notion, deliberate notion, that is pursuing happiness. Most adults continue to pursue pleasure, thinking they are pursuing happiness. Then they don't find the pleasures that they want, all the pleasures that they have. Therefore, they live a frustrated life, they die a frustrated death. But among those who are reasonably comfortable in life, some people like us, I call them God's favorites, they begin to feel as I did. I know what pleasure is. Even if I have all the pleasures in life, I still wouldn't have the deeper feeling which will, what is, then I ask myself, what is the deeper feeling? Deeper feeling is to be allowed to enjoy my pleasure in peace without my pleasure being shattered, to suffer my pain in peace without that pain being intensified 100 times. In other words, peace of mind. That's deeper happiness. So according to me, for those of us who are seeking not enlightenment, but seeking happiness, the most important conclusion, resolution is that the happiness I am seeking is not to be found in the pleasures of life. Therefore, the happiness I am seeking is not to be found in the flow of life. Flow of life itself means pleasure or pain. The happiness I am seeking is not to be found in the flow of life.
That's right.
Therefore, my happiness which I am seeking must obviously depend on my attitude to life. For me, the most important conclusion, the happiness I am seeking is not to be found in the flow of life, life as it happens, but in my attitude to life. Then I said to myself, I'm going step by step, which is firm, every step. I didn't have to go back. So the first step is, I don't have this happiness in the flow of life, my attitude to life. At that point I had to decide, what do I mean by my attitude to life?
Good question. Yeah,
Attitude to life is a general thing. Philosophers have written books on them. What is my attitude to life?
Yeah.
I thought about it a lot, and finally the only answer which satisfied me is attitude to life, general expression. When you come down to it, it simply means my attitude towards the other. From morning till night, what is my attitude towards the other? It means daily basis of daily living is interhuman relationships. Me and the other. The other may be my parent or wife or son or someone close relative or a neighbor or someone connected with my business or occupation or a total stranger. Who the next other is going to be, no one has any control. Therefore, my happiness depends on my attitude towards the other, depends on my relationship, which is the relationship with the other. So the focal question I came to is very simple. What has been my attitude towards the other, whoever the other is, the closest relative or a total stranger? What has been my attitude, what has been the basis of my relationship with the other, which has not brought me the happiness? See what I mean? What has been the basis of my relationship with the other which has not brought me the happiness?
Expectation. Expectation.
No. Much more.
The basis, if I have an attitude, if I expect something from someone else, or I expect them to behave a certain way, or I expect something to happen between us, then that would be the basis for my attitude toward them.
No, expectation is only on the surface. I am going much deeper.
Fear.
Okay.
Fear.
No,
Yeah.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
So, I said, like you are talking, I went through it, all kinds of things.
Right.
The final question answer which I had to accept was only very clear, no more doubt. And that is, the basis of my attitude towards the other has been one of fear, suspicion and rivalry.
Wow.
Even among little brothers and sisters. Little brothers and sisters.
Oh shit. Excuse me. This is obnoxious.
But do you have any control about the attitude to others? Can you have any control about the attitude to others? You have to others?
That is what we are going into. You must give me time to explain my concept.
Your concept, okay?
No.
So where have we come to? I have to accept that my attitude towards the other has always been one of fear, suspicion and rivalry where the other is known to me. And fear, suspicion and potential enmity where the other is a stranger. Go into it all you want. This is the conclusion you will come to. The basis of my relationship with the other has been fear and suspicion and rivalry. And there has been rivalry even among brothers and sisters. So when I came to the fact that even little brothers and sisters have a rivalry among them, it is almost part of daily living. It's natural thing. Therefore, at that point, Bob, I came to the conclusion, stupid to pursue happiness in this life.
Ah.
I came to the conclusion, God does not expect me to be happy in this life. That is the conclusion. Stupid to pursue happiness, honestly. So, I gave a surrender, I truly surrendered my intellect and my pursuit of happiness. I surrendered it. God does not expect me to be happy. And then I totally surrendered, genuinely surrendered this and stopped thinking about it. Anytime a thought came, I threw it out. Then, again, my destiny, God's will, cosmic law, I had an answer from outside. From outside can only be from God or the source. And the answer was, you're wrong. It is your birthright
Yes.
to be happy. I want every human being to be happy. But that on which their happiness depends, they have not accepted.
So then, if happiness is my birthright, then it's not dependent on anything
Is your
except being born.
What
your
is a birthright? What is that?
birth, the moment you are birth. Now, as
What
I
is
say,
birthright?
what is your mother
What
tongue?
is the right?
What is your mother
birthright?
tongue? What is your mother tongue?
Mother tongue, German.
Surely there must be.
No, I know the meaning of birthright, but I mean right from whom? Who has given the right? I mean,
No.
what is birthright?
You
Is there
said,
any
what
meaning
is
in
birthright?
birthright?
Birthright is my birthright to breed. My
But who
birthright.
has given you the
My
right? Who
birthright
made the right?
to do whatever I want.
From whom is that right? I mean, why you say there's any right? Birthright. From whom?
Look,
Must be somebody who has given that.
We'll sometimes sit separately and have a talk. But at the moment, let me continue.
Okay.
Huh? So, the point I made is, the conclusion I came to, the message I got was, you're wrong. It is your birthright to be happy. I want every human being to be happy. But the one basis on which their happiness depends, the human being has not accepted. That is why he is unhappy. And that basis is the basis of every religion. And yet, the human being has thrown it out. That was the answer I got. You do have the right to be happy, but there is a basis on which you can exercise your birthright, and that is the basis of every religion, which the human being has not accepted. That is the answer I got. So from that I had to pursue. Earlier I had decided that there cannot be one basis for every religion, because if there were a single basis for every religion, we wouldn't have had religious war for thousands of years, not only between different religions, but between different sects of the same religion. Therefore, I had decided there cannot be. But now, you see, there is a basis for every religion. And then, again, my destiny got through cosmic law. I was never a student or scholar of the Bible, but 4 words somehow I happened to come across. Thy will be done. And when I read them, I said, this is it. This is it. Which means nothing can happen unless it is God's will. Therefore, whatever has happened at any time had happened because that was God's will. In other words, always in everything, God's will prevails, not Ramesh's will or Bob's will. Nothing happens unless it is God's will. The Islam accepts the same thing, I'm told. In fact, someone told me that the literal meaning of the word Islam is surrender. The literal meaning of the word Islam is surrender. When he told me that, I said to myself, how very precise. What does the human being have to surrender to God? The human being comes with nothing, the human being leaves with nothing. What can the human being have to surrender to God? And it struck me. Sense of personal doership.
That's right. That's right. The karta. Yeah.
God's will against my will.
Right.
I'm not prepared to accept God's will, my will.
Right. That's right.
I'm not prepared to surrender my will. Therefore, I'm unhappy. The Hindu, but the Islam accepts the whole.
So it's kind of like prasad then. You're given free will and then you give it back.
So the Hindu religion says the same thing in a more powerful way. Hindu religion says, Bible says, thy will be done. Hindu religion says, thou art the doer, thou art the experiencer. Thou art the speaker, thou art the listener. It appears as if Ramesh speaks, Bob listens. Bob speaks, Ramesh listens. But it's not like that. Neither Bob nor Ramesh would be able to speak or listen or do anything if they were in deep sleep or sedated into unconsciousness. Therefore, who does anything? Consciousness does the speaking through one human instrument and the listening through another instrument. So once I had that, I had my own concept, and I suddenly realized that that concept which I have come to is enlightenment for me. Enlightenment is not anything certified. Enlightenment is always someone's concept. So I had my concept about enlightenment, and that is total acceptance of the concept. Everything in the world is happening according to God's will. I added cosmic law. How each happening affects whom, better or worse, it helps someone or harms someone, is again according to God's will, cosmic law, through which body-mind organism, through which person a happening happens, which the society calls your action or my action or her action, is again according to God's will, cosmic law. The human being is incapable of doing anything. That is the concept I came to. And I said, for me, that is enlightenment. That is enlightenment. So I had to pursue that to find out. My second question, what will enlightenment do for me? I've accepted it, therefore I'm enlightened. I had to find out from personal experience what is the happiness that enlightenment is going to give me that I didn't have before. See?
Yeah.
And I quickly found out, if I'm truly able to accept, I'm not the doer, I'm only an instrument through which God functions and brings about whatever is supposed to happen. And the same thing applies to the other. The moment I've accepted all that, the entire load of pride for my achievements, pride for my good actions like charity, a bigger load of hatred for myself, guilt and shame for my actions which have hurt others, and even a bigger load of hatred for others who have hurt me. That entire load disappears.
Disappears.
And it was that load which was preventing me from enjoying my birthright of peace of mind. See what I mean?
I see.
That is the, but that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it.
No?
That was my concept, I accepted it. And I did find that it brought me the happiness I am seeking, which I have named happiness through peace of mind. But that concept that the human being is merely an instrument and is not able to do anything, such a silly concept, I wouldn't dare to give it to anybody.
The only thing that I would be suspicious of, and it's something that I've said for a long time to myself, is, perhaps I'm looking for peace of mind,
Yeah.
and perhaps the mind just isn't peaceful. So what's behind the mind is kind of where I stay, where I sit,
Yeah.
because the mind has not been peaceful.
Yes, and asking such questions is precisely what makes you unhappy.
Yeah, okay. I'm just giving you something. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Where is the need of such a question for your happiness?
Right. Well, it was really a statement, not a question, but maybe you heard it as a question. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I didn't until
Uh-huh.
I came across the Buddha's concept.
Uh-huh.
I thought until then, yes, I've got my peace of mind. I'm happy with my concept. But I still wouldn't dare to give it to someone. Because if I tell him, you don't exist, you really have no free will, you're like an instrument.
Right.
He will threaten to send me to an insane asylum.
That's right.
But I found that the great Buddha had the same concept in his own words, but basically the same. Buddha's concept was enlightenment means the total acceptance. Events happen, deeds are done, consequences happen, but there is no individual doer of any deed.
Yeah.
That is enlightenment. And Buddha gave me the answer for the other question also. But he is more accurate. He says the same thing, very same thing. But he is more accurate. He says enlightenment means the end of suffering. Not ecstasy, bliss.
But the end of suffering.
Not the positive. He says enlightenment means the end of suffering. But by that time I knew what the suffering was. The load of guilt and shame for my action. The load of hatred for the other. That suffering ends. The end of that suffering, the human being says happiness through peace of mind. And what was a very pleasant surprise for me was to find out that this answer, happiness through peace of mind, which I arrived at thinking in English, was precisely the same in Sanskrit for 5,000 years. What is a human being seeking? Happiness through peace of mind. And the Sanskrit says, Sukha Shanti. Sukha is happiness, Shanti is peace of mind. I was delighted. So the conclusion I had come to has been the same for 5,000 years in the Hindu. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So any question?
Not at this point, no. I'm fine.
Well, I'll give you a question.
Okay, give me one. Right.
Intellectually, even a damn fool will accept the concept
Right.
which removes the suffering and gives him peace of mind.
Right.
But the catch is that the concept cannot work unless the acceptance is total.
Aha. That's right.
See what I mean?
Yes.
Which the damn fool doesn't have.
Yeah. That's right. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Therefore the question is,
Yeah. People's, I talk to people about this, and there always is the yeah, but. Yeah,
it.
but. Yeah, that's right, but. And so there's no total acceptance. I understand.
that is why I didn't dare give my question to my concept to the others. Yeah, but.
Yeah, but.
Aber.
Yeah.
In German I'm told aber. In English, yes, but. In German, aber.
Right.
Yeah.
You see? So, the question is, the acceptance has to be total. So, Bob's question is, assuming Bob's acceptance is not total, is it total?
Yes.
Is Bob, sorry? Yes, you said?
Yes.
Is Bob prepared to go take a narcotics test? What they call the lie detector test?
Sure. If it's not total, if I'm fooling myself, I want to know it.
That means you are in doubt.
Does that mean
That means you don't know.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That means you are not sure.
Right. Yeah.
Therefore, the question is,
Right.
what does
Good
Bob
question.
have to do
Right.
in order to have the total acceptance and not merely intellectual that he is not the doer? That's the question,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
What does Bob have to do in order to have the total acceptance that he is not the doer?
Right.
What's the answer?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Absolutely.
And what does that mean?
Yeah. What does that
It
mean?
means,
I'm not the doer.
no, it means it will happen only if it is supposed to happen.
That's right.
According to God's will, cosmic law.
That's right. I agree.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
But then, Bob has a valid question.
Varied question. Yeah.
Valid question.
Yeah.
And that is, while I'm waiting for God to make up his mind, he may take some time.
Yes.
In the meantime, Is there not some practice I can do to pass time? But then you can do it. If you have the time during the day, you can do it any time. But if you don't have the time during the day, then at the end of the day, take 10 minutes off. Sit quietly, but be comfortable, because this is not a yogic discipline. Be comfortable. Take the most comfortable seat, and in order to be comfortable, if Bob needs his cup of coffee or a glass of beer, have it. Comfortable. And then do some very simple personal investigation. If you go through all the day's happenings, you can't help but see. Everything happened. And I was just a part of the happening.
That's right.
But from those happenings, choose one happening, one event, which you are sure is your action. Others I don't know. But this one is my action. And I challenge anybody to prove to me that it is not my action. One action. And then investigate. Again very simple. If I consider this particular action as my action, did I decide to do that action at a particular time? Then you find, no, I didn't. I did not decide to do that action at a particular time. Then the investigation is, how did the action happen? And you realize a thought had happened, an idea had occurred, and that thought led to your action.
That's right.
If that thought had not happened, your action would not have happened. And no human being ever has had any control over what the next thought is going to be.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yes, yes. That's right.
You see?
Yeah,
Therefore, it can't be my action.
that's right.
And when you have done this investigation yourself, and you have come to the conclusion, not my action, then your acceptance must go considerably deeper. Then you take another action and another. And I assure you, however many actions you investigate, every single time without exception, 100% result, you will keep on coming to the conclusion, not my action, not my action. And each time your acceptance will keep on going deeper and deeper. If I had not happened to be at a certain place and time and seen something, my action would not have happened. And I had no control over being there at that time, and more important, for something to happen, which I happened to see. How can I call it my action? Or if I had not happened to be at a certain place and time and happened to see something or hear something or smell something or taste something or touch something, my action would not have happened. And I had no control over the happening of that happening.
And I'm seeing something here. It's like that self-inquiry and action with actual circumstance, self-examination is a better word. Each time I see that it wasn't me that was the doer, that's the deepening is the surrender that everybody wants to do as a result of a decision, which is silly, because that surrender happens automatically with the
I'm not the doer.
Right. Yeah,
and each time your acceptance that you are not the doer keeps on going deeper and deeper until at a particular moment of time, depending on your destiny, God's will, cosmic law, a flash, a divine flash of total acceptance is likely to happen. I simply cannot be the doer.
That's right.
And if I am not the doer, the other is not. And that flash is supposed to happen according to your destiny, it will happen. And it could happen anytime, anywhere. But once that flash happens, once that divine flash happens, no more doubt that nobody is a doer.
So, may I ask, what is destiny?
Destiny is according is a concept. Everything is a concept. Destiny according to my concept means as soon as a conception happens, that conception has started its destiny. Destiny is whatever is going to happen has already been predetermined.
Yeah, so you go back, predetermined and so on. So where's the source? What is the source?
Destiny means whatever is going to happen at any time has already been predetermined. So as soon as a conception happens, the destiny of the conception has been established. Whether that conception will turn into and give birth to a baby, or it will be aborted or miscarried, is the destiny of that misconception.
Right.
Once the baby is born, then how long the baby will live, in what way that human being will die, natural death or accident, murder or suicide, and during the lifetime of that human object, whatever is going to happen at any moment is already predetermined.
So who thought the first thought for this kind of destiny? Where's the point zero
On
of
the
this
what
destiny?
basis?
Yeah.
On what
if
basis?
you go back and back, so there must be one thought.
Your question is, on what basis is destiny formed?
Right.
That's your question.
Source of destiny.
Destiny, everything that happens in the world is according to God's will.
So the first thought of God.
God's will or cosmic law. God's will, if you have not even, I say cosmic law. According to the basis of the cosmic law. What is the cosmic law? According to my concept, cosmic law or natural law is that law which concerns the entire universe for all time. It's infinity.
But why
Something
has
so vast and so complex, the human brain can never in a million years ever understand. Therefore, we have to accept. We have to accept. Everything that happens is God's will. And therefore, in daily living, we have to accept events for which we can find no explanation. Only explanation is according to cosmic law. So, then the point is, the most basic concept is the one unmanifest source, the unmanifest unicity, the unmanifest singularity has become the manifest duality, beginning with male and female. Therefore, anything in the manifestation, the basis is duality beginning with male and female, and duality of every conceivable kind. Wealth and poverty, good and evil, health and disease. So once I have accepted that, then I accept a lot of my unhappiness doesn't happen based on questions. Based on questions, answering because of duality. So, what is the question which annoys and makes a lot of people suffer? A question like, why did God create a person like Adolf Hitler, because of whom 9 million Jewish people lost their lives? Answer is, because God created Jesus Christ and Saint Francis and Ramana Maharshi.
Yeah.
So duality.
Balance out.
Similarly, there is no point in asking the question, why does God create handicapped children? What harm have they done? But God was forced to create handicapped children because God creates healthy children,
So in the last question, there's
interconnected
no
opposites.
answer. On the last question, for the reason there is no answer.
The answer is the human brain cannot understand the basis of a cosmic law so vast and so complex.
No, on the basis of the
Therefore-
mind, there is no answer.
Therefore, we can only accept whatever happens as precisely the way it's supposed to happen. A murder happens. Bob, a murder happens. What is the experience and noted officially reports in every country? First, the murderer is detected or the murderer confesses. The person goes before the court, he is sentenced to death and he is executed. That is how it should be.
What?
That is how it should be.
Yeah.
But what happens? Recorded cases. Bob, can you believe 3 other different recorded cases? 3 other.
3 other cases, okay.
A murder happens. One is the murderer is executed.
When is what?
Case number 1, the murderer is executed. He's punished.
Okay,
He's
executed, okay.
The court punishes, sentences him to death and he is executed.
Okay,
Next case, the murder is never detected. The file remains with the police. The murder is never detected. And the murderer goes scot-free. In the third case, the murder is detected, the murderer is taken before the court. The judge and the jury both feel, we know he is the murderer, but not enough legal evidence. So he is allowed to go free. And there is still a fourth case. Do you know what? An innocent man
yes.
is executed for a murder he did not commit.
Uh-huh.
How can God do this?
Yeah.
This is according to the cosmic law, the basis of which we can never understand.
Yeah.
Why does God create an earthquake of unlimited intensity, 1516, whole continent is smashed? It had to happen.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so if any questions arise during the day, you are welcome to come again and we'll deal with them.
Okay. Well, I've certainly
Okay.
enjoyed it this morning.
Yeah, Murthy.